let's see. Oops, I skipped a guy. There we are. So let's talk about this one this week. Slow news week in the Epstein front, but there's still stuff going on, and I want to talk about this. So the other day we did get a partial records release from House Democrats. They released documents. This is from the House Oversight Committee. They published Friday some select names from the Epstein list, including Elon Musk, Steve Bannon, Peter Thiel. Bill Gates was in there. We already knew about Gates' relationship with Epstein. And so, yes, these new files are notable in that they suggest all three of these powerful figures, Bannon, Musk, and Thiel, had relationships with Epstein after his controversial plea deal that forced him to register as a sex offender. So these guys still hanging out with Epstein long after we knew who he was, including Bannon met this guy like in February of 2019, just months before he was charged with sex trafficking of minors. And apparently, not mentioned in this these documents or this article, but Bannon has hours and hours of Epstein interviews in his possession that we do not have access to. So that's interesting to say the least. Leslie, any surprises?
Yeah. One, how about Peter Thiel, who is the person that got J.D. Vance into government? And
well,
also
I will tell you this.
Vance, the millionaire.
We know Thiel wasn't partaking in the underage ladies because he is gay. So let's not associate Thiel with that sort of stuff at Epstein's island. But again, you still shouldn't be hanging out with the guy because he's a registered sex offender, man.
Well, they've been circling the wagons is really what it is, right? They're pulling themselves in tighter and tighter. And I do think this is very important information. I read a Substack post of a woman said that one of her favorite movies is Eyes Wide Shut, and she looks at it with a different lens. But, I don't think I've told this story in your podcast, but when I lived in New York, I don't know exactly the year. It was sometime maybe between 1996 and 1999, but I was at a bar with some friends and a woman, you know how sometimes you have like a circle and then like another circle will join your circle because somebody knows each other. This woman started talking to me about this sex ring involving elites. And who was I? I mean, I wasn't even really that political at the time. And I just was like, what? It was so disgusting to me. She said, oh yeah, all these people are having sex with these young girls. I remember she said 13, right? So 13 on up, right? I guess. And I just didn't know what to do with this information. I wish I'd asked her more questions. It wasn't on the radar, but this has been going on for a long time and it is not good. And all these elite banks are guilty of doing allowing all these cash transactions, and they all made money. And it's bad. And it's bad for the fabric of our society. It's bad for the women. It's bad for the survivors, the families. It's bad just knowing that these things go on. And the grooming. Yeah, go ahead, Michael. Yeah, I see.
Well, and here's I think Epstein, the whole Epstein issue is the central core of the corruption that we have. But I don't know how many of you have seen the movie Wag the Dog. Oh my word. If you haven't seen it, you got to watch it because it is exactly what happens. Every time we have a dump of information or the president goes on this, his rants in the United Nations, or he changes his tune on Ukraine and Russia and all the things in it, you know what it is? Wanting to us keep our attention on all those things and ignore the main thing. And the concept of Wag the Dog is that politicians wanted to hide something, so they created a fake war.
Yeah.
And so everybody concentrated on this fake war. All right, that's what we do every day. There are such huge data dumps. I just got a New York Times thing Marjorie Taylor Greene has decided she doesn't want to support Trump anymore. Okay. Woohoo!
Great.
Okay.
Broken clock right twice a day.
Yes, but let me just say, I think Marjorie Taylor Greene is going to try to take all the MAGA for herself, because I watched that Epstein survivors, when they did their telecast, and she spoke at it, and she was like spellbinding. She was trying to say, yes, we want to listen to the women because of all the MAGA people who want these files released too.
Yeah.
So yeah, she
Right.
they know Trump's not going to be here forever, and they're seeing who will take MAGA is what it is. Who wants
you're
MAGA.
right.
I can't decide whether like the Epstein stuff is a